Alright, so this is module 7 into module project 1, and in step 1 it is saying Tiana is the director of the customer call for the VR software, and go to the customer call log worksheet. So click here on the bottom, which contains the calls table. So this must be the calls table. So let's make sure table design. So okay, so this is the calls table. We can see here table name, and then it is saying in call type column. So in call type column, in cell E5, okay, in E5, oops, okay, in cell E5, enter formula using the as lookup function. To enter any function, we shall start with equals to sign, and then as lookup function to look up the call type according to the call code. So according to the call code, use a structural reference to look up the value in the call code column. So this is the call code column. So lookup value will be this one. So most people get confused here. It is saying call code. Sorry, where is that? Lookup value in the call code column. So most people select all the column, but we should only select the value. It is saying lookup value. So it shall be just one value. And then for the table array, it is saying retrieve in the row 2. So this is the third parameter row index column. But before that, we need to address call types table. So row 2 in the call types table. So call types table is in the A3 to F4 of the survey questions worksheet. So we need to select A3 through F4. Okay, so A3 through F4 call types table, and it is saying in second row. So let's close this and hit enter. Okay, so this is done using a structure reference to entire call types table. So this is the structure reference. Because each call type covers a range of value, find an approximate match. So for approximate match, we need to add another parameter. So just enter true. Okay, so it is saying fill the formula to those range. It is already filled. Now step number 2, customer can rate their service representative by completing a 4-question survey. At the end of each call, Diana enter the scores in column question 1. Okay, question 1, 2, 3, 4 of the cost table. She want to calculate the average rating in cell J5. Okay, enter a formula using average. So formula means start with the cost sign and then average function and structure reference to average the value in question 1 to question 4 columns of calls table. Okay, so question 1 through question 4. Now close this and then hit enter. So it is saying fill this range if necessary. It is already filled. So let's go to step 3, in range L4 through N13. So L4 through, okay, tie a set of an area to summarize some data about the service representative and handling the customer. First, you want to count the number of number of calls each service representative handle in cell M5. Okay, M5. Enter a formula using the count if function. So start with equals to sign and then count if function. So it takes range and criteria. So we should again use structured reference. Enter formula and the structure reference to the service ref column in the calls table to count the number of these. So we need to reference to service ref column. So here the service ref column, just select this and then criteria is L5. Okay, now close this and then enter. Now it is saying fill the formula into the range N6 through N13 without formatting. So just click on the corner and then drag it here. So it said without formatting, but it changed the style. So let's undo it, Control G, and then copy it and then select it and then right click and paste formulas. Okay, so step 4, Diana also want to average the combined scores for each employee in cell N5 enter a formula. Okay, so N5 hit escape to remove this. So N5 enter a formula using average if. So average if function and standard reference, okay, to the service ref and average columns in the call table to average the score by L5 column. So range will be service ref, so just select this range, and then criteria will be L5, and then average range will be average column. Okay, now close parenthesis and then hit enter. Oops. So this will be actually, let's do it again. So average if, and then it is saying service rep column. So while selecting this, I might do the mistake, you might be noticing it. So service rep, and then comma, and then criteria is L5, and then average range is this one. Now close it and then hit enter. So fill the formula again without formatting, so copy it and then select this, right click and then paste, click formula. Okay, now hit escape. So in step 5, go to call type by rep worksheet. Okay, so call type by rep. Tiana wants to compare the call data by type for each service rep in cell A3. Okay, A3, insert a pivot table based on the calls table. Okay, so go to insert tab and then here must be pivot table, and then from table range. Oops. So let's read it first. So based on calls table. Okay, based on calls table, go to insert, click pivot table from table range, and then calls table is in customer call log, and then make sure you select this table. Okay, now hit OK. After that, it is saying use rep call as the name of the pivot table. Okay, so just copy it and then click any cell inside pivot table, and then go to pivot analyze tab, and then here just enter rep calls and then hit enter, and here name will be changed. So after that, display the service rep name as column heading. So service rep, so hold it and drag it in the column section. Okay, and then it is saying and the call type as both row heading and value. So call type, drag it in row section and then also in value section. Okay, so this is done. Apply light yellow pivot style medium 12 to the pivot table. Okay, so light yellow pivot style medium 12. So just select on any cell inside pivot table, go to design, and then here is our styles. So light yellow, this is 10, this is also 10. Light yellow pivot style, so this is the required style. Just click here, and then it is saying center the data in the range B4 through K10. So B4 through K10, and then go to home tab, and then here is the center option in the alignment group. So just click here. Okay, after that it is saying Diana noticed the service Ray Borno has no call in how to category, which she knows is incorrect. Okay, so yeah, there is the no call probably. Oh here, oh here, yeah. Okay, so where were we? Here, go to the call type by ref worksheet and refresh the data. And before that is saying change the call code in cell D10. So in the customer call log worksheet, in cell D10 to 12. Okay, Now go to this tab and then it is saying refresh. So go to pivot table analyze and here is the refresh. So yeah, here value popped up. Okay. Okay, so in the step 8 it is saying go to the scores by date worksheet. So okay, scores by date in cell A3. Okay, A3 insert another pivot table based on the calls table. Same thing. Use scores as the name of the pivot table. Okay, so go to the insert and then tables, pivot tables, and then from the calls table, and then here this is calls table, and then hit OK. So it is saying scores as the table name. So then click on this drop down and then change this to scores, hit enter. And it is saying display the date value as the column headings. So drag it to the column. Okay,